Adam Shankman's Stop That Train was released a few weeks ago, which, if you aren't aware, is a silly, campy movie about a runaway train starring none other than Miss RuPaul Charles, who of course plays Judy Gagwell. We also have a number of other drag queens like Ginger Minj, Jujubee, Brooklyn Heights, Marsha, Monet X Change, Latrice Royale, and Raven Simone. Simone. Both Simones are in this movie. Bob's missing, I can't help but notice, but it's a lot of drag queens. And it's a seemingly very fun concept, but there's something clouding this movie that is making a lot of people hesitant to go and see it. In the trailer for the movie, people noticed that the train looks a little funny. From shot to shot, the number of windows wasn't staying very consistent. Things look a little off. So people obviously started to accuse the movie of using AI. As a response, Adam Shankman posted this on his Instagram saying, quote, "Every shot in Stop That Train was made by human hands. There is a sum total of 0 shots conceived by AI in the movie." Okay, awesome. So what exactly is this? After this response, people began to question what exactly is going on. Maybe AI was just used in the trailer for some unfinished shots. I mean, it wouldn't be my favorite thing in the world, but it's better, I guess? Maybe there are different train models and they just didn't decide on one before the trailer was released. It was strange, but then Shankman came out saying this. Some of the windows were AI. There was only 1 AI shot or 2 AI shots of the train. The rest are CG. Most of the CG is the train, then out the windows is mostly AI. So did he lie? Or did he just not know? There is some speculation that they had hired Acme to do some of the shots, and the directors simply didn't know that they used AI, even though it looks really bad. But wait, it's not Acme. The full name is Acme AI and Effects. So I don't really think that's the case. Even so, if we throw them a bone and assume that they had no idea that Acme was going to use AI, could they really not tell that it was AI? Did they notice and just not care? I don't think not knowing is really an excuse, especially when you're the director. I mean, it looks really bad. There's no way they didn't know this was happening. Then, of course, we have the infamous Queen of Drag, Artist of the Millennium, reality TV show host, supermodel, climate terrorist, actor, and actress, RuPaul. RuPaul is undoubtedly a very controversial figure. From transphobia to fracking, she has made a lot of interesting choices in her career, including starring in and producing Stop That Train. Also, for season 18 of Drag Race, they used AI to make these awful paintings of the queens, so it seems like RuPaul might be pretty pro-AI, or at least she doesn't care at all about it. But I do think the use of AI is strange, considering the art form of drag. Drag is and can only be human. Drag is subversive and beautiful and disgusting, and AI is none of those things. AI is predictable and boring, but it's also kind of tacky and in bad taste, and a lot of people might be offended by its use. So that begs the question, and I say this wholeheartedly against AI, is the use of generative AI camp? I would love to immediately say no, but we're going to think about it for a second, and I'm also going to tell you what camp means, because people often don't know or can never agree on a definition. Merriam-Webster, that'd make a good drag name, says camp is absurdly exaggerated, artificial, or affected in an unusual, humorous way. For the sake of this video, camp is an aesthetic or general vibe that revolves around subversion, irony, or artifice. It is embedded in queer culture, and it can be found in music, fashion, film, books, theater, or wherever someone can do something intentionally, unconventionally interesting. The origins of camp are a little fuzzy. The word dates back to the 1500s. It may have originated in Polari, a gay code language from Britain, or it started in British theater where men would play women, or it came from gay men in the US military. Wherever it came from, camp shows up a lot throughout centuries of queer culture. But by the postmodern era, camp was here, and camp was in, with way more than just gay men this time. We had icons like Josephine Baker, Cher, Madonna, Grace Jones, Isabella Rossellini, and of course, John Waters, Divine, Tim Curry, rock stars like Prince, Jimi Hendrix, and David Bowie. Slightly more recently, Lady Gaga, Megan, Chappell Roan, You get it. These are all crazy icons and talented artists who represent exactly the opposite of AI. Except Megan, maybe. AI is awful and is bad for the environment and, quite frankly, just unethical. But let's narrow in on the pinnacle of camp, the king and queen of filth, John Waters and Divine. John Waters and Divine's whole thing is that if people thought queerness was awful and disgusting, and that queers should just eat shit, then goddamn it, they were going to be awful and disgusting and eat shit. Before writing this script, I watched Pink Flamingos for the first time, and I think I would call that movie awful and, quite frankly, just unethical. I get the filth, I get the point. I don't want to watch it again, though, and I hope I don't strike a nerve by saying that. These two are icons and very important figures. If you didn't know, there's some unsavory stuff that happens in this movie. Notably, someone assaults another person with a real-life live chicken, which gets pretty much tortured and then dies what looks like a pretty painful death. It's brutal. Oh, and also, Divine actually real-life eats dog shit in the movie. I'm still collecting my thoughts about it, so I'm going to wait to share my opinion. But overall, it's filth. That's the point. Be filthy. It's unethical, it's tacky, kind of like how I said AI is unethical and tacky. I mean, it's not in the rulebook that things that are camp have to be good and righteous and moral. I mean, what they did to that chicken certainly isn't. Now, the person I'm about to talk about may be triggering for some people, so please proceed with caution. Miss Gay Rapper and voice actress, of course, Onika Tanya Mirage Petty, who you may know as Nicki Minaj. She equals 8, Onika equals MAGA? Nicki is by no means new to controversy, but recently she's sort of gone off the deep end. There's a lot to unpack, but long story short, she's best friends with Donald Trump, posting AI-generated photos of them together saying things like, boys should just be boys, while talking to Erica Kirk. She's essentially betrayed all of her queer fans who have given her the platform that she has. She was once a queer icon and a camp icon, giving us the music and the looks with her exaggerated style. She was often unfairly compared to Lady Gaga too. Her recent 180 on things has turned her into the very thing that her old aesthetic was fighting against. A lot of the time, camp plays off of conservatism to poke fun at it and expose how absurd it all is. Look at these pictures of Erica Kirk and Katya. They're practically wearing the exact same dress, and they both have big blonde hair. This is exactly what drag does best, points out how ridiculous and artificial conservative gender norms are. They're both performing the exact same thing, hyper-femininity, in an unnatural way, but in accordance to what culture deems feminine. But this is conservative, and this is camp, because this is a man on a reality TV show. Nicki Minaj has gone from Katya to Erica. But do her actions make her past persona more or less camp? Does the stark difference between these two identities exaggerate how ridiculous both of them are, or does her switch up just tell us that she's fake and that neither of these identities have any sort of backbone to them? I honestly don't think either is the case. I think her past self is still a camp icon, an icon who I do not support and whose music I do not listen to, but an icon nonetheless. Because controversy won't strip cultural impact. This is still camp, and this is still embarrassing. Now, it's hard to talk about camp without talking about the 2019 Met Gala, because wow, did these people not understand this dress code. Lady Gaga, of course, did understand, and she delivered a whole performance on the runway. Katy Perry, however, did not. RuPaul was also there. No comment on this look. Camp does not mean so ugly that you just have to look at it. There's a really big difference between something unappealing and something camp. Not everything that is tacky or extreme or dated or filthy is camp. If I went out and tortured a chicken right now, it would not be camp, because camp comes from intention. AI has no intention. AI doesn't make any sort of statement. It's just a regurgitation of other things. And even if used intentionally to be camp in some way, it just doesn't work, because whatever the AI produces will still be soulless. AI isn't tacky because of the aesthetic. It can be whatever aesthetic you want it to be. It'll make whatever you ask it to. It's tacky because it lacks soul. It's exaggeratedly artificial, yes, but that's all it is. It is the Erica Kirk, and it will never be the Katya. AI is not aware of its own artifice. There is no irony in AI, which may open up an argument for AI being kitsch, but that's not what we're here to talk about. AI isn't camp, and it's not interesting. It's really just boring and lazy. But that does lead to another question. Does RuPaul think AI is camp? Is this an attempt at being camp and funny? I'm honestly not sure. RuPaul is very old and a little out of touch. She does have a precedent of being able to redeem herself, though, so we'll have to see. But it does not give me hope for the future of RuPaul's Drag Race. The show has been on the decline for a while, just like RuPaul's hand. When it comes to Stop That Train, though, I do find a lot of humor in movies that are cheaply made, and so look cheaply made, especially if they play into it. Obviously, that's what Stop That Train was going for. That's where camp movies thrive. By the way, Fred 3 Camp Fred is a genius camp comedy movie, and I'm not even joking, and you should go watch it. Anyways, the charm of seeing a cheaply made movie is in the bad CGI, or bad practical effects, that you just have to accept while watching the movie. But also, you can appreciate because they made it work on such a small budget. AI, though, I'm not impressed. I'm not entertained. There's no humor in it. It looks bad, and not in a charming way, because there's no artistic license behind it. I see bad CGI, and I think, they tried their best. I see AI, and I think, they didn't try at all. Let me know what you think in the comments, and please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.